Yeah, so Vortex here and welcome to my review of the Thieaudio Ghost. You can see these are an open back pair of headphones with a 40mm driver. And yet as usual, full disclaimers, I'd like to thank Linksol for sending me this sample to try it, so thank you very much. I was not paid to do this video and all thoughts and opinions are my own, and these are priced at $129. So obviously I'll open the box in a sec, but the quick specs are obviously a 40mm driver, 60 ohm impedance and a 91 decibels of sensitivity, so these are a little bit harder to drive. Now I've got my desktop usage situation is basically a topping E30 and L30, the first gen, and for me to get good power output I'm on medium gain at about 9 o'clock-ish, so if you know the amp you know what I mean. And yeah, let's see what's inside. So when you open the box you just get this, so you get a paddy carry case, which is pretty cool, and a bit of foam in there and stuff like that to keep it safe in transit. Yeah, a little bit of paperwork in Chinese. Obviously I've been using this, so this is what you get in the case. Again, padding, and in here you'd get the cable, which I'll show you in a sec. And that's it. So yeah, kind of a hard carry case, pretty cool. Show the headphones, which I've actually been using, so take the cable off. So 3.5 connectors, left and right, super simple. Kind of not too cool, but 2 wires per side, as you can see. So the Y split, and again they're all joined here. It's not too bad, works perfectly fine. Obviously it comes to 3.5 and you get an adapter with the branding, so it's fine really. I've been using these for quite a bit and the cable seems fine. Then obviously the headphones themselves, they do look a bit kind of Sennheiser-ish in appearance. When you get them, these protective covers all over it, which is pretty good. Quite soft pads. Y fork design, no swivel. I'll talk about that later on. They adjust a lot from here, so smallest to largest. So I'm roughly like here, and I've got a smaller head, so bear that in mind. So obviously 3.5s at the bottom, left and right on the side, good bit of padding, and that's it. So obviously in the next clip, I've obviously been using these a lot. In the next clip you'll see my review about the sound, comfort, my thoughts and opinions, and yeah, so I'll see you in the next clip. Yeah, so welcome to my review of the Thieaudio Ghost. Obviously you saw my unboxing just and my impressions, and yes, so straight into what I find is very important is comfort. So these are overall, they're not too heavy. They have a good padding in the headband, as you can see, and the pads are very, very soft. Now I don't know what this will be like in the long term, you know, days, months, years onto the pads, but now they're not too bad at all. Now, like I said before, I have a smaller head, so which is a different clamp to like if you got a huge head. There's no swivel on the see on here, so you have to bear that in mind. That may or may not be like a deal breaker for you. I was okay with it, but you can see because obviously these are stiff, it may affect your comfort. So that's one thing to bear in mind. I wish there was proper swivel on this adjustment section, but it is what it is. Obviously 3.5 connectors for how it is. Again, no problem at all. A bit of lint because I've been using them, but yeah, they're fine. So build quality is okay. Sometimes it feels a little bit cheaper than the Athena I've done quite recently, but they're not bad for build. It's enough, I'd say, the build quality. Yeah, and that's it. So obviously, like I said, 3.5, so they're not dual 2.5 to make things difficult. So let's talk about power and sensitivity. Like I said before, I've had to use my topping L30 to get it to about 9-10 o'clock on medium gain. So if you're using something like a dongle, you'd be like using a lot of the power output. So bear that in mind. It's harder to drive than the Athenas, and that's it really. So harder to drive is not always a bad thing unless it's like crazy, like hard playing ours. And yeah, so the driver quality and resolution, I thought it was okay. I have heard better and I've heard worse. Now these are priced at $129, and for that they fit that price. and that's it really. So they use again, you can always get better, you can always get worse. It's quite these are quite in the middle pair of headphones, which I'll talk about later on. So Soundstage, even though they are open back, the stage is okay. Not all open back headphones have big stage, like some of the Sennheiser HD line, 650 and the 600s. They don't have big stage. This doesn't either. There's enough. Obviously, anything like this beats IEMs for stage, so just bear that in mind. Obviously, isolation is next to zero because they're open back. And yeah, so imaging actually on this is okay. That's about it all. So sound. So my thoughts on the sound, obviously I haven't graphed these, so just bear that in mind. So they have a lot of sub bass roll off. They do have a bit of mid bass, and there's a bit of bleed into the mid range, so they sound different to IMs, but I don't like the big sub bass roll off. They have enough hit from the bass, but then it falls off quite a bit. So if you're a sub bass boy, and these aren't for you, but there's enough going on, but that's pretty much it really. So yeah, there's not much to say about the bass. It's kind of okay, but if you want the sub bass, they don't have it, so it's pretty straightforward. So mid range, I thought was quite clear. Nothing really shouted out really. It does. I wouldn't say it sounds muddy, but it could sound a bit clearer in the mid range from what I've tried. But apart from that, it's fairly clear. Nothing to shout about. They're not bad. Again, these are middle of the road headphones, which I'll talk about again later on in the conclusion. And so the treble region again is quite. They're not very fun sounding, and a bit further up, it depends on what you're listening to. But some stuff can sound quite bright, but most of the time it's okay. Like the tune is just. There's nothing really special about the sound. It's just an okay set pair of headphones. So like when there's a lot going on with instrument separation, they're okay. I think obviously planars are better. But again, these are priced I think $129, and they sound. If I wasn't told the price, I'd say I'll be happy with the $129 kind of price. But yeah, overall it just depends on you on your library. So for me, these don't really suit what I like. I prefer they could do with a bit more lower treble presence really. Like for vocals, you may want them a bit more forward. But apart from that, they are, to be honest, quite a fairly safe pair of headphones. I prefer a bit more low end than what these are offer a bit more going on. They're quite I make them sound really bad. They're not really bad. I just want a bit more life to them really in the tuning, and that's pretty much it really. So conclusion is they are a middle of the road. They don't do anything great. They don't do anything bad. They may not suit your genre. I like electronic. I like a bit more sub bass. These don't do that. I prefer something a bit more life to them. I wouldn't say they sound veiled or dark or nothing like that. It's just quite a safe tuning, and the drivers they use seem to be like okay pair of drivers. Nothing amazing, nothing bad, and they just fit kind of in the middle of the road, and that's it really. Build quality again could be better, but then it could be worse. I would like to have seen a swivel on this mechanism here to make it a bit more comfortable. But the pads are pretty comfortable. The clamp for me is quite good. Again, like I said, I've got a smaller head, and I think that's it really. So overall sound tuning is quite safe really. Is probably a way to call it. But a little bit of spice further up. Stage is okay. Images is okay. And I think that's pretty much it. I could describe music, but everybody listens to so much different things. It's hard to describe that, but for general usage that I've tried, they seem okay. Yeah, and I'll probably end it there. If you're not anything in particular, as usual, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Take care, and see you in the next video.